Ladies and gentlemen, and once again, welcome to AEW Mash. How are you guys doing? Doesn't matter, you're here to listen to a podcast. The build to Death Before Dishonor has begun, and we have betrayals all over the place to speak of. We've even got a title fight and a title change. Let's get talking about it. But first, let me tell you about this podcast. AEW Mash is one of the many podcast parts which, when formed together, make the mega powers that is the Midweek Mashed Tattie Sportscast. You can find us across all social media and on all audio streaming platforms. Want to support the guys? You could buy us a coffee. It goes towards running the podcast that we love to bring to you. And if you could do anything for us, please just remember to leave us
5 stars, baby! Boom!
Yes, my boy! Well, joining me once again upon this weekly journey are my two friends. The workhorse, Macho Mick, and the real companion, Hulk Harvey, brother!
Yeah, brother.
Lads, how are you doing?
Good, man.
Outstanding. In a week where British politics has brought us more spots and drama. Have we even bothered to watch the wrestling? It's been pretty hard, man. Sky News has not been off in my telly, basically. I had to remember to watch wrestling this week. Oh, Christ, that's right, Wrestling Zone. And it might not be as dramatic as old Boris at the front of his house, talking into a lectern. But then it's the breaks.
One of the biggest heels in the history of British politics finally takes the bullet.
Finally takes the bump.
No, aye.
No, without a hell of a fight, though. My God, man.
Do you know that somebody, I was watching a talk show and there was actually a politician guy on there and he was saying that if Boris Johnson doesn't resign now and what's his name, steps up to be interim, Boris Johnson could weasel his way, he'll try and prolong the vote for somebody to be in power, and then by that time everything just blows over, and then he's just I'm still a prime minister.
He's been the ultimate heel as far as prime minister in the country goes. The amount of weaseling out of problems he has done over the past few years as prime minister is what a heel run. Probably one of the best heel runs I've ever seen outside of WWE.
He is the human embodiment of a weasel.
Aye.
It's incredible, man. It's absolutely incredible. 100%. He's shouting "fuck him" off camera, just like Vince McMahon apparently was after his SmackDown appearance.
Let's say about that.
Well, I mean, we said it lesser said about that. One word on the Vince McMahon fiasco as an AEW podcast. One word from either one of yous. In fact, from both of yous. What do you think? One word.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. Just like the
I should have said that with a Dundonian accent.
I was just going to say, just like the Dundonian woman after visiting the toilet. Harvey, one word from you on the Vince McMahon scandal.
I've got so many.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll let you have a sentence as opposed to a word, because I know you like detail. I know you like detail. You're into detail with your That is up, mate. That is up.
No dear. Aye. Deplorable.
Deplorable, very good.
Still a choice.
That is a very good word.
I'll use that one.
The only thing I'll say about it is that his favourite wrestler back in the day that he based upon himself, his catchphrase was "everybody has a price." The $1 Million Man. Never has that been more apt. Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's wade back over the fence to AEW. Got a hell of a lot to talk about as always. It's
Indeed,
some brilliant, some good, some odd, some but we'll start, I think, with the first thing that happened on Dynamite this week past there. Wardlow has become TNT champion, beating Scorpio Sky. We are now in the reign and in the era of Wardlow's world. What did we think, lads, of it? Did we enjoy that as an opener?
Not a bad match, but I think it was a mistake.
Jesus, so you're right. Keep the title in Sky.
I think it diminishes the title further. I think you want to make a champion strong. You know what I mean? No strong in the sense I don't think Wardlow should have been beat cleaner or anything like that. But I think that they could have made a proper feud out of it. I don't know what's going on in terms of is Sky actually 100%, or did they need to just get the title off him and let him go and have some time off?
Aye.
What are they doing with the ATT stuff? Like, is that the last of that, or
Hopefully.
you know what I mean? So, like, I'm no mad at it. If it's totally done in byway, all good. But if they've got any intentions of having that continue in any way, then it was the wrong move, in my opinion. If they want to keep that, like, if they're not having Wardlow just move on to somebody new straight away, then for me they should have kept the title on Sky, had him win with the assistance of ATT and a lot of tomfoolery, and then have Wardlow actually have to kind of make his case to build himself up and actually win the title. I wouldn't have said that a few weeks ago, though. I only feel like this because of the nonsense with Smart Mark Sterling and his crew of misfit bouncers that
aye, all the bouncers that Wardlow.
But apparently happy to have a match rather than go ahead with a massive lawsuit, which is possibly the most stupid. Like that. I mean, that is up there with the attempted storyline of Vince McMahon impregnating his own daughter back in the day. So it's that level of stupidness.
He's found his way back in. He's just seeping into this podcast.
It's terrible on so many levels.
It is terrible, but it's no incest terrible. You know what I mean?
Probably not that far away from fact, actually, that fiction, judging by the latest. Anyway,
I get what you're saying, though, Michael. I do get what you're saying. That
I just hope it's done in byway. That's all.
Aye.
For me, that's where I'm at. I think this is it now. We can now move on.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it. I think it was time for Wardlow to get a belt, but I didn't even think about it the way you thought about that there, Michael. If they were planning to keep that going, then it doesn't really make sense to have Wardlow get the belt now when he could just move on to something new pastures, you know. So hopefully it's all done in byway. Wardlow goes on and feuds with whoever.
Yep.
I don't even know who you would put against them.
I don't see. The thing is, I don't even think you need him feuding anymore. You know what I'm wanting for Wardlow currently as a TNT champion is every week we have a challenger, and it's a good 15-minute match, and it's enjoyable. And the TNT title,
random challenger.
Aye, why not, man? Worked with Cody Rhodes for a long time, and it was tremendous
every week. But
because
through the Cody Rhodes reign, you got showcases for Jungle Boy, Sonny Kiss. Eddie Kingston came into the company through that sort of style of booking, and eventually in overtime Cody kind of naturally started to go heel, and obviously the decision wasn't made correctly on pulling the trigger on that because Cody didn't want to be heel, but what you had was the belt meaning something, like, because he was desperate to hold on to it, and that became the kind of long-term sort of, I would love to see that for me. And have it go all the way to a pay-per-view until it's a proper challenger like Miro or something like that, and you get the horse contest, man. Like that's all I'm wanting. I don't need it to be big and detailed and intricate. I just need to see good matches. And Wardlow is in ring bloody brilliant.
But
like, imagine a Wardlow versus Takeshita match. Takeshita's not going to win, but you're going to enjoy it. Like, you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be a great 10 minutes.
The issue is they've leaned so heavily into this kind of Goldberg level character with Wardlow.
Aye.
They've put so much into that how do you have anything other than a squash for him now, unless it's against a big name? But if it's against a big name, why would you just do a random match? Why would you no build up to it? So I just feel like they've booked themselves into a bit of a corner with him.
I think the Mark Sterling thing for me, I think has hurt him a lot, and I think that's probably hurt him a lot in the eyes of a lot of folk as far as his momentum goes. They've got work to do to make this TNT title mean something again. I think the problem has been the last run of champions with the TNT title. It's killed the prestige of the belt. Certainly, it's definitely soured the taste for a lot of people and the actual sort of meaning for it. Like, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Well, here's a question though, lads. And I'm playing devil's advocate here a wee bit because I have my own views in this. Did Christian Cage go a bit too far with his promo? cutting upon Matt Hardy. Obviously, there was a line within the promo suggesting that I thought you were the sober one. I think it was when it was kind of during the exchange back and forward. Was this right? Was this maybe a bit too on the nose? I mean, obviously we're loving Christian Cage as the heel. His comment before with Jungle Boy's dad, very on the nose. This week, the comment about the sobriety of Jeff Hardy, very, very on the nose. Would we be slagging him if this was done in WWE? Like, would we be angry about this, or would this just class as good heel work?
Maybe I'm being a hypocrite in some way or whatever, I don't know, but for me, I think he's riding the line perfectly. I think it was done in the right way. I feel like the comments about Jack Perry's dad were worse in the grand scheme of things. Talking about somebody's dead dad, like there's no way of framing that in a good way. There's you know what I mean? If you're going to cut a promo where you're like talking about him having like no, but he did it. He did it in a way that worked for the character that he's building, and I feel like it was really on point with his promo against Matt Hardy, because it's the thing is, like, AEW hasn't, other than the statement they put out, there's been no mention of it.
It's been kept very quiet, aye.
Matt Hardy's came back in, he's been involved in a couple of things over the last couple of weeks, and he's got the Hardy Boys music, you know what I mean? He's keeping he hasn't changed his gimmick in any way. Like he's still the same Matt Hardy that he was when Jeff Hardy was there and everything was fine. So for me, it's like he's doing what you want out of that type of heel, and that he's saying what some people are thinking, you know what I mean? It's on the line of like what you can get away with, but I don't feel like he's crossed the line.
Just the right side. What about yourself, Harvey? Are you quite happy with it as well?
I'm fine with it.
Not too offended by it, not too kind of worried about it, so
I think the way it was done was fine. If he went about it if he said things in a different way, then maybe I would have a problem with it. I also think that Christian probably went to Matt Hart first.
I feel like this would have been checked upon. I feel like there's a bit of backstage kind of checking upon.
By the way, can I say that anybody, like, you know? I mean, he didn't really die. Wasn't he? What did he say? He said because Hardy was saying something, but Jungle Boy didn't deserve that. Yeah, and then Christian says something, you're pretending, and then he says you're starting to make your brother sound like the sober one.
That's what it was. That was exactly what the line was.
Wasn't it too bad?
Aye. Go the reaction anyway.
When Michael was saying there about your dead dad and all that, like, I don't know, you'll probably talk about it later, but we negative one.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Let's quickly move on to that. So a good example of getting heat and a bad example of getting heat. Just for the record, by the way, totally agree with what you're both saying. The Dark Order section, obviously this was in Rochester, the home of Brody Lee.
Yep.
So there was the Dark Order out there, all Dark Order standing in the row, just showing that they're all still signed with AEW. Sidebar again, by the way, Alan Angels is just in his debut in Impact Wrestling.
Oh, cool.
He's left AEW, losing effort against Speedball Mike Bailey. Apparently a very good match.
Right.
Good wrestler, of course, so no surprises there. But back to Dynamite, sorry. So Dark Order were cutting a wee promo, interrupted by everybody's favourite fuck off out of here guy, QT Marshall. The guy that absolutely nobody wants to see, bless him. He came out kind of cutting a promo, kind of hitting on the deed dad kind of patter with Brody Lee Jr.
Yep.
A bit sort of, I mean, it's good to see the boys still doing well and all that. He's obviously still loving being in about all these wrestlers and all that. And Dark Order is obviously his dad's thing. This was just I don't know, man. I didn't care. at all about this. I think the Dark Order's done.
It felt to me like it should have been on Dark or Elevation, Dark Evolution, whatever, but like it didn't seem like it was on the right show.
Aye.
It was a bit.
Rampage.
I wasn't mad at the angle and everything else, because the Dark Order's been doing a lot over the last like probably 5-6 weeks on Dark and Dark Elevation. Dark Order's been doing a lot with the Factory, and QT's been cutting promos and having issues with -1, with Evil Uno. Like, there's been a lot going on with it, so it makes a certain amount of sense if you watch that stuff. But it's as if they forgot that all that stuff's been on Dark, and they just flung it. You know what I mean? Like, just because they happened to be in Rochester, they've stuck it on. It was Dynamite, right? No, Rampage.
It was on Dynamite.
It was Dynamite. It was Dynamite.
Aye.
So like I say, like I mean, it wasn't the best. Like, it could have been done better. It was a wee bit weird. I mean, the strangest thing was, like, when it was all said and done, all -1 had to say was, like, he'll wait till he's 18 or 19 or whatever he said, and then he'll pin QT. Like, I was wanting him to, like, cut a bit of a promo. It seemed like they had something prepared for him, and he was actually going to do something. So, I mean, it could have been a little better, but
it's good news for QT. He knows he's going to be signed for another 8 years, effectively.
Maybe. Or in 8 years. Wait.
I mean, that's job security right there.
6 years. Is he no 12? -1.
He's 12. He's 12 years old. So
6 years. I mean, they could let him go and re-sign him when he's 18 for one match.
Just for one more night.
Your QT, we'll give you a couple of grand to come in and get pinned.
Just to get pinned from the boy.
Tell you what, that's some serious long-term booking.
That is about as long-term storytelling as you're going to get me. Aye, that is some seriously long-term.
I mean, what does that mean? Because obviously Adam Page comes out.
Aye, of course he comes out and gives him a wee punch, doesn't he, man?
So what does that mean for Hangman and the Dark Order?
Just a wee cheap pop for him.
That means a shake of the head for me. That's what it means.
Aye.
They spend all this time just sort of gradually distancing the cowboy for the Dark Order just to have him come out to make the save. What he's doing.
I was going to say, did you see the Being the Elite this week? They're hinting at a return of Hangman to the Elite.
I read about it. I'm about 3 weeks behind in Being the Elite. I'll not go into it. I'll not bore you with it. But the way I watch YouTube, I watch it like it's a fucking TV show, and I watch everything in order.
So you binge. You're a binger.
I'm a binger, so I'm behind it. But I did read that they've been hinting towards a sort of Hung Bucks reunion.
Yeah, aye.
Which makes sense because the Undisputed Elite's fucking fell to shit, so they've got to do something.
They're bloody injured, aye. They're out of bloody members. They really are.
Aye.
It's, they're needing somebody. Did you hear that CM Punk's injury is apparently worse than
is
year
it?
as well?
No, I've not heard anything about it.
Aye, Tony Khan, I think, was talking, and I think he was busted open. He always appears in a lot of radio shows through the week to hype up certain shows. And he said there was a scan on Punk's foot, and it wasn't. The only thing he'd said about it is that it wasn't good. He didn't actually specify how not good it was, but the words "not good" were used. Which
possibly like the operations no went as well as they could have hoped, and
it's not done exactly what it should have done effectively to fix the issue. So the interim champ may be a much longer fit as an interim champ. Interesting
to see how this develops then.
Aye. Just to talk about John Moxley, by the way, how did you feel about that this week? This is something that I really. This is my favourite kind of John Moxley, where he's the champ. He cuts a respectful but brilliant promo at the start of the night about his opponent. His opponent looks awesome, and it's a great match. Doesn't he do much I mean, you can't imagine there's going to be a feud there, but it's just what we wanted. A good showcase for Brody King. Fun match.
Aye.
Aye, fun match. Fun match is what we
don't have many words as usual.
Aye.
It just like I said last week, man. Like for me, this is Adam Page and Lance Archer done right. It's Mox playing his part to a T. It's shining a light on a phenomenal talent who's effectively on the mid card at this time. and Brody King, really showing what he's capable of and what could very well be in his future when he's done with
Absolutely,
the House of Black. Really fun, well worked match. Like I thought they put the match together really, really well based on like Brody King being this big bruiser, this killer, and he's you know what I mean, he's working on Mox. He's really like using the strength and the power and the size to beat him down, and Mox finds a way to win. And I'm really happy. There was a moment there where Mox had a roll up, and I thought, shit, they're going with the most devastating move in pro wrestling here, aren't they? But they didn't. They had Brody King kick out, and then they went back to the choke, which I loved.
Aye.
So I thought, I really enjoyed it. I thought that was ideal for the situation. I think it did everybody good in the situation.
King looked him out, man. My God, does that big boy hit hard,
Also,
I mean, he does.
awesome side note. I saw the day of yesterday, I saw the video. There was a signing this week somewhere, don't know where, in America. And Brody King and Darby Allin were both there for the signing.
That's right, yeah.
Brody King came in and interrupted Darby and attacked him. They had like a half a match inside a shop, and then Brody King put him through a table and walked out. It's amazing.
Yeah,
I know.
That's
Bring that
awesome.
into Dynamite, man.
That is quality, man.
Aye, just what we want to see, man. Absolutely. They do have a
Incidentally,
tremendous match.
this could spill into Sting and Darby Allin versus the House of Black, which I love.
Oh, totally, man. Totally. This is good. I mean, there's your next bloody random tag match that's going to be amazing at an AEW pay-per-view.
Yep.
Sting stealing the show.
Probably fling in Matt Hardy just to even it up. There you go. There's your 3 on 3.
It's just 3 on 3.
I mean, aye, why no? Like,
or Miro, because Miro's going after Malachi, isn't he?
Oh, so yes.
Oh, aye, there was a wee
Aye.
hint at a feud there as well, of course. Aye, that's right.
Because Miro cut that promo. Just say something about him, something about going for the week, and he takes him out or something. Hold on, I've got it somewhere.
Please
there we
hold.
go. There we go. You collect. So he goes on and he cuts from Malachi Black. You collect the weak. I dispose of them. Don't you understand? Don't you understand? You've enraged a man who is flawless. The Redeemer is coming, enraged. Aye, that's right. Aye. So
give me some of that, man. That's a great feud. That's
I'll
a
bet I get
tremendous. Aye, absolutely. What did you guys think of Rush? Roosh, sorry, to pronounce it properly. What do you guys think of Roosh? Roosh.
He was against the
El
wrong
Toro
guy.
Blanco. Roosh. So you didn't enjoy it then, Mick, is what you're saying?
It was
Not for
alright,
you.
but I was the whole time I'm thinking, I wish this was Ray Phoenix in there.
right, no Penta.
I just think it would have been a better match. It was no bad, like it was a good showing for them, but I was just thinking, as a singles match, I would have rather seen, and there's every chance we'll still get it in time, but I was like, that's what I was thinking.
I feel like that's what's coming next. It'll probably be Andrade versus Phoenix in the next match. Obviously, the whole sort of gimmick is them trying to unmask the luchadors.
Yep.
So that's
Which
that's
I don't
where we're
love,
going
by
with.
the way. It's very done.
I don't want the guys unmasked. I really don't want to see that. Penta and Phoenix. I mean, hey, by the way, in this week's episode, Alex Abrahantes is living his fucking dream. Obviously, Alex had the spear of a lifetime, man. Huh? So I mean, that was a big plus.
He went. What's the name? Is it Jose? Isn't it?
Jose, the assistant, mate. Jose.
He proper went after him, man. He were giving each other a tune.
It was a hilarious wee interlude. Just them disappearing out the aisle.
Ray Phoenix and Andrade just like kind of letting them there. They're just like
I was the fact they were just watching, going like, all right.
It was like two guys standing outside a pub and they're like their girlfriends were fighting and they're just like, what do we do here?
I mean, just let them go, I suppose, boys. No intention of getting in between it. You've got to love Alex Abrahantes, man. If it's no the goth costume he's got on, it's his mad gloves and he's having the best time of his life, man. I can't hate that, man. It's the happiest wee man in the world. Oh man, Konosuke Takeshita, by the way, lads.
Prodigy.
Once again on the Rampage. Prodigy, Mick. Perfect way to describe this kid. I want to put a bit of love into Eddie Kingston as well, man, for hanging with such an athletic young talent.
He did not look out of place once in there. Oh, well, I mean, physically, but like aesthetically, I should say. But in terms of like wrestling ability, man, he did not look out of place. He gave him as good as he got, man. It was a really well worked match, and a match that wouldn't have been out of place on like a New Japan card or a DDT card or something.
Absolutely was. Absolutely. It was Arn Anderson that once described Kevin Owens as a wrestling bumblebee. I remember listening to the Arn podcast talking about Kevin Owens. And they called him a wrestling bumblebee because a bumblebee obviously is this wee circle of yellow and black, but it can fly. If you looked at it in a picture and you said, can that thing fly? You would go, absolutely not. It's a beach ball.
Bumblebee
That's what Kingston is. Exactly. That's Kingston. In a lot of ways, just like Kevin Owens, like he's built like your average scheme da that's had too much watching the football on the Sunday and he's fuming at somebody, but yet he wrestles like a much younger, fitter man. Love the guy. Love the guy. Absolutely love the guy. Big kind of shining Takeshita as well, taking one of the Hurricanes and firing back with a kick before he went down.
I thought that was interesting. That was the only thing that I was a wee bit like, I don't know about that.
That surprised the crowd as well. Like you could hear the crowd go, eh? There wasn't much of it was a
Yep.
They didn't react the way I would have thought.
I know that I'm thinking about it. Like the end of the match was ironically a wee bit sports entertainment-y.
Yes. Aye, for two wrestlers.
Aye. But no, I enjoyed it, man. It was a really good showing for the two of them.
Aye,
absolutely.
I like Takeshita.
Takeshita. He's somebody that I believe still isn't signed with AEW yet, but I think if you're wanting them to sign, I think he's somebody that they need to move heaven and earth for.
Yep.
Looks tremendous every time. If he's given 2 minutes, he's amazing. If he's given 10 minutes, he's equally amazing.
Do you know what I was thinking, right? So very much seems like the All Atlantic title, right? That's what you call it, isn't it?
Yes.
Aye. So obviously it's been announced that Pat's going to defend that on Rev Pro. So very much seems like they intend, as we've spoke about previously, for that title to be like a travelling title. And I get the feeling they want it to sort of be like the New Japan US title.
Aye.
So it's within the promotion, but it's kind of like a sort of walking billboard thing, you know what I mean? It's this advertisement for the product.
It's like back in the day with the NWA. It's like a travelling champion, effectively.
Aye. So I'm thinking,
champ on tour.
If you want that belt to go on tour in Japan, Takeshita's your man.
You know what? You're only something there, aye. I think so. I think
a feud between him and Pac down the line. That's
be a great match. Wow.
That's going to be epic. And then put the belt on him, really give him the shine, and then let him go and put the title on the. I mean, I don't know how New Japan would feel about it, but if he's got some sort of ties with DDT still, like let him go and defend the belt over there, or maybe New Japan is in his future. Maybe when the time comes and he's starting to get in with them, maybe that's when you put the belt on him. But I think that the future is very bright for that guy.
He really is. He's tremendous, absolutely tremendous. See, just when you were mentioning there about the match with Pac on Rev Pro, Rev Pro are going to provide that match to AEW Dark Elevation.
Oh, interesting.
That's going to be on AEW TV with
the
footage and the commentary from Rev, because obviously Rev Pro are a kind of big sort of promotion down in England.
Yep.
They do their kind of live shows and all that with commentary, so on and so forth. So And that's going to be provided to AEW. He's also going to over OTT wrestling as well, over the top wrestling.
Right, okay.
In Ireland. So it seems to be that he's going to go all about Europe and all that way, kind of tour over there. So it's a great shout, man. I can kind of get it now. Like, I think originally the concept here was rushed and really wasn't given the kind of the explanation properly. I can kind of see what they're doing now. It's a good shout.
A great idea that they've not quite fully fleshed out the plans for it. They
haven't fleshed it.
They're just rush into it, but there's a lot they can do with that. Definitely is.
Aye, absolutely, man, absolutely. Well, Fyter Fest is up next, but we'll get to that in a wee minute. What I want to actually talk about is the amount of betrayals leading into this Death Before Dishonor card. There was betrayals everywhere this week on AEW.
I wonder if that's deliberate.
Not just in the build up to Death Before Dishonor.
It's obviously deliberate.
But they're booking
what I mean is like the irony of the fact that it's like we're building towards a Ring of Honor card and respect is the name of the game.
So let's be dishonourable everywhere. Let's be really dishonourable. So obviously with the Foundation, Jonathan Gresham turning on his partner mid-match, Lee Moriarty,
Very lukewarm.
So he's now sided with, lukewarm is exactly how I would describe it. He's sided with Tully Blanchard Enterprises. We had Mercedes Martinez and Serena Deeb post-match. Obviously,
too early.
Betrayal there again. Too early, yep. And then this one hurts the most because they were the funniest group of people ever. The Ass Boys, the Gun Club turning on the Acclaimed.
Aye.
I kind of get this one because the Acclaimed are so absolutely over with their gimmick that it is impossible to dislike them anymore. Absolutely impossible.
Yep.
However, could you not just have turned the lot of them face? Could you not just have let it happen? The amount of time the Gun Club have been in AEW and everybody's went, nepotism. Like, they really haven't made it very easy with the fans.
Yep.
By the way, they're very smooth young wrestlers, the two of them. They have two like ducks, two water. I mean, for the level of experience of the two of them, I mean, Colton Gunn took up wrestling during the pandemic, seriously.
Right.
So he is that fresh into wrestling, Colton Gunn.
Yep.
Austin Gunn only maybe 2-3 years before that. So they're both very new
ahead
to
of
it.
their time.
Way ahead of their time. And they've obviously put in the graft. Their dad being a great example of a coach, but they were finally starting to become kind of notable in their own right without the nepotism sort of shout of they're here because their dad's a coach.
Aye, I feel like they could
this
have.
doesn't help them.
They could have went on a longer run and done like a mini face turn, and then ended it with them going back to being heels. Just so basically, just
more.
Do what we had there, but like let them slowly go face over another few weeks. Give them another 4 weeks, 6 weeks, ease into it, and then the heel turn, and then maybe you get like a more natural feud off the back of it. This just feels a wee bit rushed and a bit unnecessary.
They didn't need to do it, lads. I think is exactly the kind of point. It didn't need to happen. And I mean, folk will love the Acclaimed as a face team. It's been long overdue. Them cutting a promo and the heels coming down to the ring. I mean, it's perfect bloody crowd pop material. Aye,
comedy faces. Yep.
Exactly. You could totally back Max Caster to have some zingery to say about heels, even as a face wrestler. He'll still make it hilarious. But just like you're saying, Mick, too quick. What do you think about the Death Before Dishonor card, lads? It's fair shaping up now.
I've got to say, I've got my assumptions of what some matches are, but I don't actually know that. So you've got Gresham and he's so he'll be.
He's against Moriarty during Fyter Fest, right? So he is, aye. So that's no.
I don't know where you go. Maybe that spills on into it. I don't know if that's necessarily who will take on at the pay-per-view. You've got the women's match pretty much sorted. It's pretty much a eschewing that's going to be Martinez and thingy. What's the name's gone out my head?
Aye.
Somebody help me.
The women's match.
Aye,
The
Mercedes
women's
Martinez
match.
and
Serena Deeb.
Serena Deeb. There you go.
So that is in fact
Just
confirmed,
right
by the way. That is a confirmed match for Death and War with Honour.
Is it?
So it's, aye, that is,
Wow,
that is
they've
now
really
actually
waded in with
happening,
that.
Aye, so that is
They're not even
confirmed
going
as a
to.
match.
They're not even going to hold after next week for some promos. They just went straight in with it.
Oh, I know, straight in.
God
Yeah,
damn.
bitch, you turned on me. We're having a match at the pay-per-view.
Right, okay.
Aye, so what I've actually got the card here, the current card.
Okay.
Samoa Joe versus Jay Lethal.
Oh, aye, I forgot about that. Aye.
Absolutely.
Which,
World
incidentally, right,
Television
see,
title.
before you get any further, right, it annoys me that the setup for that feud was Lethal turning on Gresham, and now you've got this shite heel turn for Gresham.
I know you've got Gresham being heel as well, I know. Aye. That's a bit weird. It's a bit jarring. Very, very jarring. Aye, that's very weird. Wheeler Yuta versus Daniel Garcia, though, for the pure championship.
Oh, now that I
Which,
like.
of course, is the BCC Jericho Appreciation Society tie-in.
Yep.
I mean, the match that was announced during Dynamite, though, I think that Mick would absolutely lost his mind for. Harvey, I'm sure you were as well. FTR versus the Briscoe brothers. Ooh.
Yep, part two. Yep.
Now there's how
Love
they're
it.
selling the whole thing, man.
Part dos. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the
Which is
guaranteed
great,
show
'cause I
stealer,
thought-
man. Sorry, Harvey.
Aye. I know, no.
You go, fella.
I'm saying that's great because I kind of thought they were distancing themselves with the Briscoe brothers, but
Because they've been an Impact a lot recently, aye.
and obviously after the whole
Aye, the kind of previous comments for Jay Briscoe, aye.
but it's,
Yep.
that's going to be an epic match. That one.
Aye. I mean, look at the first one. How do you even top
I
the
know.
first one? They'll have a go at
Aye.
it, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have a go at it. They will. Jonathan Gresham is going to be on the pay-per-view, but it's TBA. That famous wrestler, TBA. That he's facing.
I feel like
We
it's
don't
going to
actually
be
know.
Moriarty, but we'll see.
Well, you say that, but I have just found on the actual card the Young Guns. Did you know there was a team called the Young Guns?
Matt Sydal and Lee Moriarty.
Yep. Versus the Gates of Agony, which is Toa Leona and Jasper Conn. So it won't be Lee
How do you
Moriarty.
do with Gresham then?
I know. Where is it going?
Wait, how are they rushing into all this other stuff yet they've been totally willy-nilly with him?
Aye.
I mean, just
Aye.
by the by, Ken, nothing for nothing here. He just happens to be the fucking like the Ring of Honor champion. You know what I mean? It's not as if it's like you would think like Samoa Joe was the Ring of Honor champ and he was the TV champ. You know what I mean? It's as if like they've got confused
It
about
does-
who's the top fucking title.
He's a good wrestler, Jonathan Gresham, but this is where his lack of star power really, really hits home.
Aye.
Like, they're being respectful to him as champ, but he's just not a big enough name. He's not,
No. I mean, like, if they're not going to have him fight, why did they have... anyway, whatever. I'm not even going to, because that's just...
it's...
Uh,
I wasn't a fan of either, Harvey, I've got to say. I wasn't a fan.
I worry that's going to be just a throwaway match then. Just a random Ring of Honor talent that we've not seen or heard of in a while that they'll bring in for probably a reasonable match, but like no real meaning.
Well, this is it. I mean, you've got to assume that's the main event, though. Like, or do they have FTR and the Briscoes main event?
I kind of hope so, but then I also kind of don't because that's really disrespectful to the Ring of Honor title.
What does that tell you about
that's
their world
true,
title? Aye? It tells you that it's not a big deal,
Yep.
which is it's not a place to be in.
No.
It's really not a good place to be.
And then
Speaking of throwaway random matches, what about the announcement at Fyter Fest Night 2? Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston in a barbed wire death match with
that sounds like a
the
joke.
Jericho Appreciation Society suspended in a shark cage.
Aye, I mean,
12-year-old booked this shit.
like, did Brody Lee Jr. come up with this? Like, what are we working with here?
I don't know.
It sounds like something a wee boys come up with. I mean, again, I feel like we're like, what shit is this? But 2 weeks time we'll be going, how amazing was this?
It'll be match of the week lately, but
Guarantee.
why?
As long as they've hired a new fireworks crew for the end.
Aye.
Don't get the contractors that Moxley and Kenny Omega had, because that really, everybody looked a dick. There was a lot of creative promo work to try self-write that in the end.
Aye, that was a very large and red F.
Remember that? The explosion? It was just like a cove.
That was
a tiny wee plume of spat.
That was one of the things that I had seen that like really made me hesitant to watch AEW when I back before I kind of saw the light.
Oh,
aye.
Didn't he look good?
No, you saw it,
really
right?
didn't he?
Like I've got a lot of faith in Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho to have a great match regardless of the circumstances.
Aye.
So
True, man.
I'm confident it'll be good. I'm left asking why. Like, but they didn't need to do this.
No,
They
absolutely.
could just have had a normal straight up singles match and it would have been great.
I suppose this hopefully is the final full stop in their feud, and they can both move on after this. This is the end of the feud.
You say that, but they've already booked Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia.
Exactly.
That's true.
This
actually.
technically is a
Black card,
continuation.
so, aye, we'll see what happens.
I know, man. I know. But hey, I mean, you know what? We'll be here in 2 weeks' time going, fucking hell, they two guys are crazy. How good was that? It's been the kind of MOAEW recently. That'll be fine, kind of style of booking, and then the match is incredible. Like, they're getting away with it. How much longer for? I don't know.
They're setting themselves up for failures, what they're doing, because as soon as a match underperforms, it's going to really look bad.
Aye, exactly, man. Aye, it's going to hit them sore.
I mean, fingers crossed, touch wood, that doesn't happen, but
Aye, same here, man. Same here.
But do you think about the whole Powerhouse Hobbs and Hobbs, Stacks, Keith Lee and Strickland and the Bucks?
Aye, so that again, that's a Fire Fest match.
it's I'm not too mad at it. It's like, it seems pretty clear to me. I mean, maybe it's just because it's like fantasy booking in my head, but it seems pretty clear to me that the destination at the end of the road is the part 3 for the Young Bucks and FTR, and most likely all the belts will be on the line for it. So you need something fun for the Bucks today, especially because the Undisputed Elite's fell on its arse. So you need something fun for them to be doing a 3-way match with two of the kind of top teams. I mean, albeit it's two teams that are sort of, although they're successful and they work as tag teams, they're kind of made up of singles wrestlers, which is kind of a slap in the face to the actual tag teams that have been tag teams for years. But that aside, I'd have every faith in them to have a really fun match.
Aye,
at least
very true. I mean, it will be.
They're giving it a couple of weeks to set up. Like, they're not rushing into it too much. So
Aye.
there's that.
No doubt it will be a fun 3-way. AEW are very good with these tag 3-ways as well. They seem to get the kind of flow of them bang on.
Aye.
It's always the Bucks that are involved in them as well. Like,
Aye.
the Bucks are always in with
Oh,
these
they'll be running the show for
tag
that.
3-ways. Yeah, it'll be Spotfest crazy, but it'll be great fun. Like, it will be. Just finally, just a wee side note to Claudio Castagnoli versus Jake Hager. Former Real Americans taking on one another.
Makes me nervous.
You know that shit about it. They've worked together a lot. I think, Mick, is one positive.
They've got a history. They know each
very well
other.
versed with one another.
If there's anybody that can steer Hager through a match safely without at any point kind of losing his way and looking a bit lost and shit, it is Castagnoli. But I just feel like he could drop Castagnoli on his head or do something a bit daft at some point that just kind of makes it not look great. So, aye,
I'm
I'm
one of the
nervous for
few
it.
folk that doesn't mind Hager, I've got to say. When Hager's firing and when he's up for it, I think he's fantastic.
Well,
Like,
there's the problem, Paul.
he's such an unusually unique big guy.
You need to say when when he's firing, when he's on point.
Aye, obviously, aye. It's
You can't rely
he's
on
not
him.
the best of the best worker, but
Aye.
when he's on form, he's tremendous. Like, and somebody that he's used to working a WWE style match with,
Aye. Is there any
it'll probably
is there
be
any
fine.
stipulation for the match? Do we know?
No, I believe it's just a match.
Just singles match.
Just a good old fashioned slobber knocker, as JR would say.
What it is a good opportunity for Castagnoli to look like a monster.
Yeah, throwing about a guy his size.
Aye.
Right. So, which he will do. I mean, he's strong enough to throw Hager about.
Aye.
Quite comfortably strong enough. Absolutely. Just quickly, while we end, just as we're going to end just in the next wee minute, thoughts about this new kind of role with JR. He's coming out an hour into Dynamite, second week in the trot. Does this work for you guys?
Don't like it.
Don't like him?
No. Don't like
Would you
it.
just prefer him the 2 hours?
I wouldn't mind him coming out for pay-per-views and really big main events, but not on a weekly basis. Don't parade him out for a wee, just for the last wee bit. You know, like he's some kind of fucking show pony. Like, hey, look, JR's still here. Look. No, like if he's no up for the full show, tell him to just take a wee holiday in between pay-per-views. You know what I mean?
Is it maybe time we had a wee break for JR and we went with Taz and Excalibur?
I think they really need to explore their options and see what the long term booth is going to look
Jericho.
like. Aye. I think they need to really think about what they're doing there. I still enjoy JR being on commentary, but if a sort of normal 2 hour show is too much for him, then just don't do the 2 hour show.
Aye.
Just hold off for the
Time
pay per views
for-
and the big main events and stuff.
Time for him to kind of down into a kind of minor role now.
I think so.
I mean, JR's kind of will to work is a bad thing for him. I think at times he doesn't want to stop, even though he's clearly not as young as he was once before. I feel like there's better options now for AEW as a commentary team. I feel like Caprice Coleman, Taz, and Excalibur is the future. I think that is the best commentary team as a 3-man booth. I also think having Ian Riccaboni there as the Ring of Honor man to do shows for AEW as well is a brilliant shout in time. I like it. I'm a big fan of Ian Riccaboni.
Aye. I think
I think that's maybe a shout.
again, they need to think long term, because if Tony Khan's sort of really serious about getting Ring of Honor a weekly show in the very near future, then you would assume he keeps the team as it was there in terms of commentary and announcing. Then you probably don't want to lean on them too much for the rest of the AEW stuff. So they need to really build their team there. So I don't know.
Yeah,
but I think Taz, I saw he tweeted something about this. I think somebody must have been ripping on him a bit. He was kind of what was he doing? He was like pointing out that it's not as simple as having an analyst and a play-by-play guy. Sorry, it's the same thing. Having having an analyst and a colour commentator. He was saying that you can have a colour analyst and that's what he does. He's no your play-by-play guy. He's no your strict analyst. That's like your Excalibur, but he's no just there for the shits and giggles. Like, he adds stuff because he has sort of known kind of technical prowess. So he has an analytical aspect to what he's doing, but he's a colour commentator, and I think there's an interesting dynamic with that, and I think that's definitely something they can lean into. I don't think they use Taz enough at times.
Taz is tremendous. He is. He's so underrated as a commentator, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got so many more podcasts coming at you. Yesterday, you would have had MMA Mash 6 talking about the UFC card that just passed over the weekend there. Cracker, what's a patter. We've also got Mo Mash joining you tomorrow. If you fancy a wee bit of F1 banter with the guys, Harvey fronts that, and that was focusing on the Red Bull ring race in Austria. And fucking hell, it was a cracker, lads. Plenty of love forward to it, Harvey, eh?
No, yeah, plenty, aye.
Hells yeah. As always, if you do anything for us, recommend us to a friend. Let people know about the Midweek Mashed Tattie Sportscast. We're here every week. We love talking about sports. We love talking about wrestling. As always, I have been Paul, banter my ass off about wrestling. Harvey, Mick, pleasure as always, lads. See you later. Bye-bye, driver.
Tattie by the view.
See you now, guys. See you next week.
Bye-bye.